Hey guys, and welcome to the birth of our management accounting playlist. Now that we've finished financial accounting, we can seamlessly transition to management accounting, which is a completely separate beast that we're going to tackle over the next 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 tutorials. So, to start off, I should say that management accounting is a little bit more mathematical based, more logic based. If you do remember some linear algebra, it will definitely come in handy in this course, especially for certain topics like break-even points. If you remember what this stands for, you're off to a good start. This is the equation of a line, but that's kind of besides the point. In this tutorial, I just wanted to give you an idea of what management accounting is and also some of the concepts that you're going to see. So, to start off, you should definitely know that management accounting, you'll see a lot of examples with the manufacturing industry. It's very manufacturing based, and it is also more internally, or it's more directed towards internal users. So what this means is that there's no restriction like GAAP in place for their financial accounting system. Essentially, the managers are free to create any type of internal accounting system. There is no restriction or constraints imposed by GAAP, and that's because it's internally directed, and external users do not use management accounting information, and usually GAAP is in place for the external users, since there's some type of asymmetrical amount of information between both parties. GAAP is in place to protect those external users and provide consistent standards. Also, management accounting, even though it is historical looking like financial accounting, because financial accounting is very historical looking, we'll probably see like 3 years or 2 years or maybe just 1 year, and it will always be historical looking. We'll see revenues that have been reported in the past, cost of goods sold, expenses, net income, and we'll see this also for the balance sheet and such. So it's very, very historical looking, but management accounting is also future looking. So we're also looking at budgets, and rather than just planning out previous or past months or years, we're budgeting for the next few months or years, and we're also looking at decision making, kind of like strategy for our business. So there is more forward looking in management accounting. So I should actually probably get to our definition, since that kind of gives us some more structure in this presentation. So management accounting is the process of identification, measurement, accumulation, analysis, a lot of keywords here, preparation and communication leading to managerial decisions. So a lot there. I'm going to try and break it down. So process of identification, measurement, and accumulation can very much well be defined by like cost accumulation and reporting. So costs, they'll look at all the costs that go into making a certain product, all the costs of the period, so product and period costs, and also looking at different, splitting them between variable and fixed costs, direct and indirect. You'll learn all about this in the next few tutorials, but it's mainly a lot of cost accumulation you'll notice in this course. And then after that, of course, we have analysis, and analysis is another big part. I quickly kind of mentioned that earlier when I was talking about break-even points. That's one type of analysis that you will see. I'm just going to abbreviate and say BEP for break-even points. So you'll learn how to calculate certain points where we'll break even for an amount of product. So how much product before we break even, or maybe how many or how much revenue before we break even as well. So important questions that should be answered, and of course we'll plot out some data points on a graph, and usually this will be your revenues, and your costs will be a little bit higher up because costs always start higher up because of that fixed cost, and then we'll want to come to this point and figure out what our break-even point is. And then everything up until this point are losses, and then everything up until here is going to be profit. So we'll learn all about break-even points in upcoming tutorials. That's part of the whole analysis part of management accounting. Also, there will be a complete chapter on variance analysis. Variance analysis, I think, is usually like 2 or 3 chapters, and it has to do with looking at efficiencies and inefficiencies. So we'll be looking at items. I'm trying to, for some reason I'm having difficulty spelling inefficiencies. I think that looks right. Inefficiencies. Hopefully that's right. Okay, so we'll be looking at efficiencies and inefficiencies for price. So how we received an efficiency with price, mainly to do with did we purchase our goods for less, or did we purchase them at a higher price? If we purchase them at a higher price and we have inefficiencies, maybe we'll want to enter into some future or forward contracts. Those are like to purchase goods at a set price in the future, if you know about like commodity markets. And we'll also go over usage variances, so whether we ended up using more of a product or more of a material, I should say, in a product, or did we use less? And of course, if we used more, that's going to be an inefficiency, and if we use less, it'll be an efficiency. So we'll be going over a bunch of different things and analyzing a lot of this cost data to see whether we can basically streamline our operations better and plan better for the future for strategic purposes. As well, preparation and communication. Actually, for preparation, there are many things we'll be preparing. Like I've said earlier, budgets. We'll also be preparing some balance sheets and journal entries. The journal entries are not as heavy in managerial accounting. I think they'll only be for the manufacturing process, so purchasing direct materials, direct labor costs, and then like applying overhead. So that'll be kind of the journal entries section. Also prepare some income statements. And then there's a bunch of different types of budgets, like cash budgets and sales budgets. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be recording in this course. And then of course it all comes down to communicating it to managers so that they can make decisions. So that's basically your kind of simple idea of management accounting. Hopefully I've given you kind of like an idea of what you're going to see in your upcoming tutorials or classes. We'll be covering all of this, so make sure to check out the next tutorial. We'll be talking about cost drivers to kick things off. Subscribing always helps, and liking our videos always helps as well if you found them helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any questions regarding accounting or any other material within our videos, you can tweet us at Notepirate. You can like us on Facebook to receive updates or to share any quick anecdotes about how our videos might have helped. And like always, thanks for watching us on YouTube.